The Sales Game, written by Darcy J. Smythe and Steve Clayton. Narrated by Darcy J. Smythe and Steve Clayton. The rules of the sales game. Number 1. Each player is given 20 poker chips. Number 2. When the game begins, players may start doing whatever they wish to obtain more chips. Number 3. Each iteration of the game will end after an unknown amount of time has passed. There are 4 iterations of the game in total. Number 4. You will not know how long this time will be. However, know that it has been predetermined and cannot be changed. Number 5. The winner is the one with the most chips. Number 6. The loser is the one with the least chips. Number 7. Go. Introduction. The game rules you just heard were the ones that started this whole journey. At that point in time, we had no idea what we, and the community that has now grown around it, were truly in for. It started with an idea. Actually, scratch that. That sounds far too romantic and easy. It started with a problem. The problem was that after spending so much time at the front of the sales training room, working collectively with thousands of business owners, sales leaders, and their teams to improve their sales numbers, we noticed a trend. And it was a trend we hadn't just noticed in our own training rooms. This was a trend we were seeing in the students attending business and sales development events, trainings, and seminars all over the world. That trend? They weren't using the education they invested in. They'd leave events feeling great about themselves with a page full of notes, ready to be implemented. But when the rubber came to hit the road, nothing really changed at the end of the day. Back to their old habits, old failing sales strategies, and old ways of thinking they go. It was like clockwork. And they'd even be the first to tell you that's the truth. We've all been there. We've all been that student, ourselves included. We wanted to crack the code of meaningful education for the business world. When so many programs are left purchased but remain on the shelf, so many books left unread, so many seminars attended and listened to yet unused, how do we cut through the noise and create something that people are truly changed for the better after experiencing? How do we create an event that people look back on and say, my business life is split into 2 parts, before I attended this event and after I attended this event? We delve more into this for you in Chapter 2. But for now, all you need to know is it led us to take a long, hard look at ourselves in the mirror and ask, how do we create a sales training that people can't help but be different people after attending? Not just have more information, not just have done something different, but actually become someone far better than they were before in a way that transforms and empowers their approach to selling in the modern world of business. Never again did we want Kylie to leave the training and be left to implement her page of notes on her own. We didn't want Benjamin to be left wondering whether or not the sales strategy he just learned will work for him, given his unique position in the marketplace. We didn't want Olivia to feel full of confidence while she was in the training room, only to be seen plummeting back to earth 3 days later when the hit of motivation wears off. We didn't want Andy to even entertain the idea of going back to a list of leads on Monday with the same lackluster attitude he had on Friday. We wanted our students to have a sales training experience that transformed them into not just better sales closers, but better people at large, better communicators, better negotiators, better empathizers, better value adders, better problem solvers. How about better everything that sales was always meant to stand for? We didn't just want Peter to be able to generate great ideas. We wanted him to be able to back himself and take action on them immediately. We didn't want Sarah to just make another sale. We wanted it to be second nature for her to want to follow that buyer up again in a month's time and see if there's anything extra she can do for them. We didn't want Nick to understand his product or service like the back of his hand. We wanted him to truly understand his buyers and the way they think, behave, and make decisions. Why restrict oneself to just winning small battles when there's a whole war to be considered? And so we needed to create an environment that encouraged this transformative style of learning. The type of learning where people don't just walk away with more information, they walk away as a new person, specifically in the areas of sales, marketing, and business they need it most. The answer turned out to be something that we've since discovered is, to our knowledge, the single most powerful, rapid, and yet sustainable way to educate an adult human being: playing games. We know, right? Who'd have thought? Wasn't learning meant to be serious? As you'll hear in Chapter 1, games in the business training room are a profoundly empowering way to grow our self-awareness, increase our sales and negotiation ability, and open our eyes to inspiring new possibilities for the future of business. It's not always a comfortable journey. In fact, the more discomfort we face, the more we'll actually get out of playing a game. But games ensure we keep our learning on track by boasting 3 distinct factors that any old PowerPoint presentation or textbook simply can't. The feedback they provide on our sales approach is instant. There's no running from the feedback a game gives us. The way we play games is often how we play life. And so the sales game was born using the rules at the start of this introduction. A carefully designed, yet seemingly ambiguous game where an infinite amount of outcomes could play out. Purposefully created to help salespeople and business owners gain extraordinary amounts of self-awareness, self-confidence, awareness of others and how they think, rounded out with the trust and faith to also be able to back their teammates on the same journey. The way it achieves this is by simply providing a playground for our strengths, weaknesses, fears, motivators, strategies, personalities, and behavior to come to the fore. Once we become acutely aware of our own strategies, some of which we weren't even consciously aware we were deploying, we gain the unfair advantage of self-awareness like never before. And once we become aware of something, 50% of the journey to change has already been completed. The transformation has automatically begun to change what isn't working and double down on what is. And at the risk of our listeners believing that, well, of course they'd say that. They're here to promote their own training, aren't they? We can say with full conviction that the sales game is the ultimate sales training event. Not just because of our own experience of the event as its facilitators, but due to the extraordinary feedback and results achieved by the students who have played. We've included some reviews you have to listen to believe throughout this book. But please believe us when we say it isn't for everyone. We 100% stand by the fact that there are people who simply aren't ready to learn what this game can teach them about themselves and others. Sometimes Pandora's box simply wasn't meant to be opened yet. The wisdom imparted to all students playing the game is as fun, enlightening, and empowering as it can be difficult and, well, downright potent. The undeniable feedback nature of the sales game comes into play whether people are ready for it or not, and that's confronting for some people. It means deliberately putting ourselves into a situation we know will challenge us. It means accepting and facing the results we achieve, even if they don't reflect our intentions for playing the game. It means realizing something or someone we thought was working for us our whole lives could be actually the thing or person holding us back. Not everyone is capable of dealing with feedback of that intensity. Admittedly, it is only a small portion of the population we're referring to here, but it still needs to be said nonetheless. The large majority of students up for playing this game describe it as one of the most profound, fun, engaging, and positively challenging training experiences of their professional lives. Ideally, entering this game means you're ready for the challenge. You finally want clarity on what's been holding you back from sales success, and you're ready to confront and resolve whatever that means about you and the business you sell for. Either that, or you finally want to discover the edge to cut through the noise in your own marketplace and achieve the sales results you know your business is truly capable of, no longer keeping you stuck with the title of the world's best kept secret. If that's the case, then we can promise you this. You will feel uncomfortable at some stage throughout the sales game. And that's exactly the way you want it to be. Because it is only by pushing through that discomfort that you will experience that exhilarating form of relief, release, and freedom you've been looking for so long now. Such a reward can only be achieved by embracing the challenge that lies ahead. We thank you greatly for being here, listening to this. In the sales game, we've been shown enough evidence now to tell us this is having a huge impact on those up for the challenge, both in their internal confidence and in their sales results to match. We hope by listening to this, it even starts to at least get a few light bulbs brightening up in your own mind. Enjoy the pages to come, and if there is ever anything else we can do to help you on your sales journey, just say the word and the coffee is on us. Until then, we only want to leave you with 3 questions to keep in mind as you devour the audiobook ahead. What would your first move be? What is your winning strategy? How would you play the game?